Chestnut Hill, and they are really expecting a raucous environment for this one. The number 9 team in the country, Florida State, has come on the road for a conference battle with the Boston College Eagles. And we do have a heck of a matchup here tonight in New England. We're in Chestnut Hill at Alumni Stadium for number 9 Florida State against Boston College. Dave Fleming alongside Coach Mack Brown. And Coach, Florida State 2-0. The Eagles are 2-0. No Jameis Winston this year for the Seminoles, but they really do feel like, even without the former Heisman Trophy winner, they're a championship contender this year. They have a new quarterback, Everett Golson, transfer from Notre Dame. All the pieces are in place, but this will be a test tonight against a team that has played them tough in an environment that should be a difficult one. Boston College has played them very tough for the last 2 years. When you go on the road, you got to take your running game, and nobody better to do that than Florida State with Dalvin Cook. He's big, he's tough. He ran a 10-400 meters in track in high school, 266 yards rushing last week against South Florida. He's a guy that'll be up for every award in America if Florida State continues to have a great year. Young offensive line, but this guy gives them a chance to protect their quarterback. And those highlights from last week, just a glimpse of the power, the speed, the combination. There may not be a player in college football who has had a better start to the year than the sophomore running back Dalvin Cook. Second best rushing game in Florida State history last week, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns for Cook. He's got 422 yards this year already, 5 touchdowns, coming off a freshman season that may well have been the best for a freshman running back in Seminoles history. So Dalvin Cook has been tremendous. We mentioned that new quarterback, Everett Golson, coach, who is from Notre Dame. He's got a lot of playing experience, but new to this Jimbo Fisher offense. Well, he has actually played in this stadium with Notre Dame, but he's only been at Florida State for a little over a month. So the question tonight, he's been okay for the 2 weeks at home, going on the road against a defense that has a lot of different looks and blitzes and could try to confuse him, especially against a very young offensive line. So Everett Golson had 22 turnovers at Notre Dame last year. Here, he hasn't had a turnover in 2 weeks, so that'll be key tonight. So it has been a positive start for Golson. It's been a positive start for Boston College. They're 2-0, 2 FCS opponents, though. I don't know how much we learned from those 2 games. I don't know how much we learned from about their very new young quarterback, Darius Wade. Darius Wade can run. He's a good runner, not a great runner, but he's a very excellent thrower. So we think tonight he's a guy that can do a great job in the passing game. But again, Boston College has a very young offensive line against a stout front 7 at Florida State. So the difference in this ball game tonight, they've got to run it well enough to be able to keep the pass rush away from him so he can throw play action and probably move the pocket around, Dave. Well, by far and away the biggest test for number 4 Boston College. Eagles think they're primed and ready, though. The students are out in full force. The lights are on. It's Friday night. Florida State on the road to take on Boston College, and we've got kickoff when we come back to Chestnut Hill. Well, this campus has been talking, buzzing about this game all week long. The students are here in big numbers. The Seminoles, the power in the ACC, and it's not been an easy matchup for Florida State, even with their excellent teams the last 2 years. There have been close games recently between Boston College and Florida State. We expect another one here tonight. For more on that, we'll welcome in the 3rd member of our broadcast team. Here's Allison Williams. Yeah, Dave, you see the recent history, and based on score, the last 2 seasons, Boston College has played Florida State tougher than any other opponent in the ACC. But don't think for a second BC is interested in any moral victories. Head coach Steve Adazio got pretty fired up when we talked to him about finally beating the Seminoles. He said, "I'm sick of hearing that we played well. That means nothing to me or to this team. It's just another loss. At the end of the day, we need to learn how to finish and beat a really good football team." And Dave, that's something they were able to do a year ago right here at home against USC. Yeah, no kidding. It was about this time of year when the 9th-ranked Trojans came to Boston College. Steve Adazio's team upset USC on a very emotional night. And it's getting loud here on a Friday night as we get ready for kickoff. Boston College won the toss, and they elect to defer, and that's not real surprising, Coach. Boston College feels very confident about their defense. Got a lot of the guys back from last year. They can play too deep. They're very talented. They would like to use their older defensive guys up front against that young front of Florida State and try to disrupt them early and try to get this crowd into it and try to get some advantages early in this game to give them confidence. So we are ready to go. Alex Howell, the senior place kicker, will kick it off deep. Kermit Whitfield, Jalen Ramsey back to receive, and Ramsey wearing number 17, the All-American defensive back, will bring it out and get tripped up just across the 15. So a great start for Boston College. Ty Schwab with the special teams tackle, and here comes Everett Golson and the Seminoles offense.
Well, Everett's going to be the difference tonight, because you know Boston College is going to be keying on Dalvin Cook. So I think you'll see Jimbo Fisher early in this ball game hand the ball to Cook, but also start looking at ways to use Cook to draw the defenders up there and let Everett make some throws.
Well, there is number 4 in the backfield. He has been a superstar in the first 2 weeks of this 2015 season. Golson will start under center and drop back to pass on first down. A quick completion, but also a big hit. The tight end Maven Saunders with the catch, but an open field tackle by Justin Simmons.
Justin Simmons is their best player in the secondary. He's a guy that won the Jay McGillis Award, which was a young guy that died of leukemia in 1992. So they don't give that award to someone unless they're really a special player. 1
career interception, but they do feel like he could be a big playmaker for them in the defensive backfield. No gain on that completion, 2nd and 10. And another throw coming. Golson's going to go down the field. He's got a man open, and it's caught along the sideline. That's Kermit Whitfield, and I think the defender tripped and fell down. That's a Florida State first down.
But Dave, Boston College is being really aggressive early. They're putting a lot of guys in the box. They're playing man-to-man coverage. They're bumping with a free safety in the middle. So they've come out and said, you're not going to beat us with Cook. You're going to have to throw the ball downfield. Excellent throw. Really good catch to stay in bounds and know where he was in the boundary.
And there was a defensive back who tripped. Now a little bit of a trick play. Misdirection. Whitfield, who's got blazing sprinter speed into Boston College territory, down to the 42-yard line. Everett Golson threw a block on that play after the 26-yard pass play. That's a 15-yard run.
Well, we're seeing Jimbo Fisher break all the tendencies to start this ball game. Look at Everett getting in there, knocking the big lineman down. Really good call on 3rd down. 2 throws, reverse, and all of a sudden now the Dalvin Cook theory that they thought would be the game plan is not relevant.
He blocked one of their big guys up front, Kevin Kavalik, who's an excellent defensive end. Now Cook, who's got an opening left side. Dalvin Cook, there's that speed and power, breaking tackles to the 25-yard line. 17 more yards for Florida State.
Florida State's doing exactly what they want. 2 completions, reverse, then hand it to a counter play with Cook, and he breaks it down the left side. They've really got this defense back on their heels, and they needed to quieten this crowd and get a good start, and they're doing just that.
Well, Golson not only blocked the starting defensive end, he knocked him out of the game, at least for a moment. Kevin Kavalik is on the sideline for BC. Golson all alone in the shotgun, and he's going to throw a slant complete, and another broken tackle inside the 20 down to the 19. That's the talented sophomore Travis Rudolph with his first catch of the night.
I really like the play selection by Jimbo Fisher early in this ball game. Now he throws the screen outside to a fast guy behind the line of scrimmage. They're doing everything they can to neutralize that big, strong front 7 of Boston College.
That was 11 yards, so they're picking up yards in bunches. The one back is Dalvin Cook, the sophomore star to Golson's right from the shotgun, looking to throw. And he's got time. He'll throw short, pass complete. Jesus Wilson with his first catch. Brought down short of a first down, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 5 for the Seminoles.
This is a situation where if you can get 3 and you end up 4th and 2, even though you've got maybe the best kicker in the country, you go ahead and try to score because you're trying to quieten this crowd. And this has been an unbelievable drive to start the game for Florida State.
Almost 5 minutes and still on the move. Well, the stadium's starting to shake on 3rd and 5. Golson looking end zone. Pass is caught for a touchdown. Travis Rudolph. And how impressive was that? Golson and company right down the field and into zone on their first drive of the night.
I think that's about as good as it could be. You had to get protection in the pocket. You see here there's a lot of twist up front. The guys have given him great protection, and all of a sudden he sits in the pocket, stood tall, very relaxed, and throws a slant for a touchdown. What a drive, and what a confidence builder for Everett Golson going on the road for the first time.
8 plays, 83 yards. Roberto Aguayo, the All-American place kicker, with the extra points. So the Seminoles on the road in the hostile environment with a statement early. Everett Golson finds Travis Rudolph. 7-0 Florida State lead. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams here from Chestnut Hill. The Seminoles get the ball first and go right down the field. 8 plays, 83 yards. Everett Golson finds Travis Rudolph for a touchdown pass. So it's 7-0 Jimbo Fisher's team with a great first drive. And Golson was perfect. 5 for 5, 50 yards and a touchdown. But a guy wearing number 6, he was number 5 at Notre Dame. Jameis Winston was number 5. So Golson, coming to Florida State, figured he'd change his number, bump it up 1. And so far so good for Golson with the Seminoles.
Well, obviously Florida State was ready to play, and that was one of the question marks. Now, we always told them when they scored that quickly and easy, that's an imposter. It doesn't mean it's going to be an easy night. So let's see if new quarterback Darius Wade can respond.
Aguayo with the big leg will kick it deep into the end zone, and it will be a return for Boston College. That's Miles Willis, who gets hit hard, is still churning his way across the 20. That's where the Eagles will start before they get the ball. Let's take another look at that touchdown play.
I think the big key was the cylinder up front, and then you've got to throw the slant out here, and Golson set high in the pocket so he could see. Really didn't panic at all. There's a couple of twists up front. Finds the crease inside. Really good football play.
Well, the protection was so impressive. Boston College prides itself on pass rush defense, and they really did not come close to Golson on that drive. So now it's Darius Wade handing it off, and Boston College certainly wants to establish the run. That's their big sophomore John Hilleman with the first carry of the game, and their sophomore quarterback Darius Wade, a huge test for him tonight.
And we thought Hilleman might see more carries because he's the big strong guy up inside, and for Boston College to win this game, they've got to keep the ball and stay ahead of the chains. They're 2nd down and 7.
All the numbers that we show you on the BC side tonight, you have to put them in context. They played 2 FCS opponents to start the year. There is no running room for Hilleman. Derek Nottie with the tackle along the defensive line. There's big number 91. And he will come out for a 3rd down play in a passing type situation for Boston College.
And this is exactly the situation they did not want to get in, because they're worried about the 2 edge rushers, and you start looking at Sweat and Pugh, and they're 2 of the best rushers in the country that will be coming off the corner for Florida State.
Yeah, the true freshman number 9, Josh Sweat. We will watch him tonight. Wade, who is a lefty, rolling, trying to get the ball off, and he'll just throw it away. So could not find anybody to throw it to. It's 4th down. Boston College, a 3 and out. They'll punt the ball away.
Boston College wisely moved the pocket, but they were in the middle of the field, ran out of room. So what a great start for Florida State on both sides of the ball. They take it down and score quickly, 3 and out, and now they're one of the better punt return teams in the country. So you better look out if you're sitting here as Boston College and they have a great punter, one of the best in the country, getting ready to punt the ball to Florida State.
Yeah, Alex Howell will punt it to Jesus Wilson. Howell, a nice high booming punt, no fair catch, and Wilson will be drilled. Wow. Maybe a fair catch was in order. He held onto the ball. From Florida State's perspective, that, I guess, is the most important thing. That was dangerous.
Steve Adazio is really excited about Coleman Huntsler, who he just brought in from the University of Florida to do his special teams, and he knows he's got to win that side of the ball to have a chance to win this game.
We'll see both sides use a lot of their top line players. That's the starting linebacker Matt Milano with the special teams hit. And both coaches really believe in that philosophy. Use your best players even on special teams. Well, Everett Golson, who had that perfect drive to start the game. Seminoles begin this one at their 25-yard line. And hand it to Dalvin Cook, who is dragged to the ground for a very short gain.
That was what Boston College expected to see from the Florida State offense, and that was the response that Steve Adazio and defensive coordinator Brown expected to see as well. So got him in 2nd long.
And Golson, who had just a horrendous first half last week against South Florida, really picked it up in the 2nd half. Goes without saying, a much better beginning to this one. Cook in the backfield. He'll go out in a route, and for the first time, Golson is pressured. He kind of threw it up for grabs, and the pass is incomplete. He took a hit. I don't know. We haven't seen a flag yet. The officials may talk about whether there was anybody in the neighborhood, as that could be intentional grounding. So they are going to throw the flag.
All-out blitz. He did not get out of the pocket. There was no one in the flat. So this is a good call by the officials. It's intentional grounding.
Well, Ron Cherry's he didn't switch the microphone on properly, but he called intentional grounding. So that's a big loss. They'll go back to the spot of the hit.
And Harold Landry is a young defensive end that the Boston College people are really excited about, and they felt like he was the one guy on their defense with a four-man rush that could put pressure on Golson.
3rd and long, 3rd and 24, and they will hand it off. It's that draw play that you saw coming, and guess who else saw it coming? Harold Landry and Boston College dragging down Dalvin Cook. So the Seminoles go backwards on this possession. It'll be 4th and very long.
Got penetration with the Boston College defense up front. You can see Harold Landry on a little counter draw play coming from the backside. The coaches couldn't say enough about Harold Landry. They said, we'll find out tonight if he's the big-time player we think he is.
Now that's a talented left tackle. He's young, Roderick Johnson. He just beat him badly to get to Cook. Jason Beatty, the punter. Sherman Alstow's got really good speed, and around the 38 is going to return. And he gets tripped up. What a good special teams tackle. Now he keeps going. He says the knee didn't come down. There is a flag on the field for what I think would be a block in the back. And the special teams coach that you were talking about, Coleman Huntsler, is not happy about it.
Illegal block in the back on the return, number 15. That's a 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
So 10 yards, and the Eagles offense will come back on the field. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Wade will hand off. Hilleman is hit, and he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
The Boston College coaches thought they had to make yards on 1st down, stay ahead of the chains, come out 2nd down and 5 or less, and that's just not happening. They're not making yards on 1st down, and that's putting a lot more pressure on Darius Wade on 2nd and 3rd.
Terrence Smith with a nice tackle, the Seminoles linebacker. 2nd down and 11. Wade, the sophomore, under center here. And he'll hand it off. Hilleman again. This time a much bigger hole, and Hilleman with some of that power at the finish got right to the line. And with the spot, they say 1st down Boston College.
And it shows you why Steve Adazio and his toughness are perfect for Boston College. Here's a 2nd 11. How many people are going to call an isolation play on the middle linebacker, give it to Big Hilleman, and all of a sudden now you've got a 1st down from 2nd and 11. Most people are going to start throwing the ball and having turnovers. He's going to shorten this game, and he's going to run right at Florida State. And that was no better indicator than that play for what's going to happen the rest of this game.
Good block from the fullback. The fullback goes out into a route and catches the pass, this time from Wade. Bobby Wolford, who put the big block on the play before, this time with the catch, shows some nice hands.
Bobby Wolford, he's a really good player for them. He can block. He's got really good hands out of the backfield. He's already run it some, but this is a misdirection play. They try to fake the isolation up inside, get a really easy throw for Darius Wade on the corner. That gives him his completion and maybe the confidence to continue.
And I think that's what you're talking about. They'll take it 6 yards. They get to the line very quickly, hand the ball off. Hilleman, nowhere to go. So the quick tempo, Roderick Hoskins, sophomore linebacker, read the play nicely.
Very impressed with the defensive line of Florida State so far. You're just not making many yards up inside. They had the isolation play on the linebacker for 11 yards, but we're seeing more negative plays or 1- and 2-yard plays on early downs, Dave, than Boston College would like.
That's big number 4, Giorgio Newberry, 5th-year player who was kind of lost early in his career. He has emerged this year. He's played really well. Wade back to pass and pressured. It's a screen. Pass caught. Alston out into the open. Alston brought down from behind by number 4, Giorgio Newberry. But it's a 1st down for Boston College.
All of a sudden now you've got Darius Wade with 2 straight completions, and he gets the ball to Alston's hands in space, and he turns it up, and he's so quick. He was a key in this ball game last year. 1st down.
So that will be the final play of the 1st quarter from Chestnut Hill. And we expected a close game. I think we're going to get it. Seminoles got the ball first, went right down the field, scored the first points of the game. Since then, it's been a stalemate. On Friday night here at Boston College, end of quarter number 1, Seminoles 7, BC nothing. Well, Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams back here at Boston College, where in between quarters, Tom O'Brien and his 2005 Boston College team were honored here on the field. It's 10 years since BC joined the ACC. That was a top 25 team. Coach O'Brien, Matt Hasselbeck, Matthias Kiwanuka, they were a good team.
They were a great team. 10 years ago, it's hard to believe that Boston College got in the ACC. John Swafford did a great job of putting this league together.
Now play fake. Wade is going to take off, tries to get away, and got taken down near midfield, a gain of a yard. That's Roderick Hoskins, who's been active in the first quarter plus.
But Dave, in the first 6 minutes, Florida State had 83 yards, Boston College 4. Since then, Florida State's got -8, so the Boston College defense is turning the momentum around, and Boston College has 37.
So those are the numbers that you're talking about. BC's offense still needs to get it going, but their defense has helped them settle into this game.
They're keeping them into the game and letting a young quarterback and young offensive line grow up.
Now you got motion into the backfield, and they fake a pitch play. Wade keeps it, takes a hit, gets inside Florida State territory down to the 46-yard line. Terrence Smith with another Seminoles tackle.
We can see that Darius Wade is already gaining confidence, even though he's hit a couple of short passes. The first run of this drive was pretty good. Now he's got it at about a 3rd and 5 situation. Again, you've crossed the 50. So if it ends up 4th and 2 here, Steve Adazio's got an interesting decision to make.
Third and 9. Wade in the pocket. He's got protection. He's going deep. He will throw, and it's intercepted. What a play on the ball by LaMarcus Brutus, the 5th-year senior, with the interception for Florida State.
It's a good play by the Florida State defense, but it also isn't a bad play for the Boston College offense. The protection's really good up front. Darius sits in the pocket. It's not a bad throw. It's just an outstanding interception. But if you were going to punt the ball, you would want it inside the 20. So they've got Florida State backed up at the 18.
So Brutus gets the ball back for the Florida State offense, and Everett Golson will come back on the field for Florida State. The transfer, the grad transfer from Notre Dame, having a good start to this game, I think.
I think Golson's done a good job. He's got to get momentum back now after losing it after the first drive.
That first drive, almost all the yards, the 7 points in the pocket. He's going to throw deep. He's got a receiver broken up. Nice play by John Johnson. There was an opening there. Travis Rudolph, the intended target. There is a flag right down in holding territory near the line of scrimmage.
Ball was floated a little bit. He did have pressure, and it just gave the defensive back enough time to break it up.
Block, number 78 and number 7. Half the distance to the goal. Replay the down.
So they will replay the down, half the distance to the goal. For more on the quarterback, Everett Golson, let's go down to Allison Williams.
Yeah, I talked to co-offensive coordinator Randy Sanders before the game. He said the one thing he really needed from Golson tonight was to be a calming presence. So many guys on the offensive side making their first road start, especially up front. 4 of the 5 offensive linemen starting on the road for the first time. Well, after the last punt, Golson came over to his line. He had a smile on his face. He was relaxed. He said, come on, guys, we're all right. Put a smile on your face. We're going to go out there and make something happen.
Well, play clock already winding down. Thanks, Allison, as Golson tries to get organized. Backed up near their own 6-yard line. Clock down to 2, down to 1. They do get the play off, and Golson, pressured, gets away. That was a near safety. Now Golson on the move out to the 20-yard line, nearly a first down. Wow, what an escape by Everett Golson.
And that's what Everett Golson brings you. You've got, again, Landry has a sack in the backfield. He's a young sophomore, but the athletic ability, his ability to escape, number 1, Wojak, and then Landry, and then turn up the field, break some other tackles, know where he is, and try to fight for the first down is what Everett Golson brings to this Florida State offense. Took a safety and turned it into a 2nd down and 2.
We'll remember that play. Now not a great snap. Good handle by Golson. And the exchange and the timing got all messed up there. Dalvin Cook tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Man, that guy, he let Golson get away. But Harold Landry, you spotlighted him early in this game. He has been everywhere.
He is really a good football player. And Connor Wujak, too. And those guys are both tough guys up front. We're seeing some irregular snaps by Corey Martinez. They've got to get Golson the ball, because with all of these blitzes, and I think probably Martinez is having trouble snapping because he's trying to get eyes on all the guys that are blitzing, and that's really disruptive, and that's what Boston College wanted.
3rd and 5. Golson back to pass, throws middle, caught. What a delivery. He finds Travis Rudolph, who had the touchdown catch early in the first quarter, out to the 30. Florida State first down.
Yeah, Florida State's young line did a good job of picking up the blitz. Golson sat in the pocket, stood tall, and throws it to Rudolph. Very similar to the same play they hit for the touchdown. Big first down.
3 receptions, 33 yards now for Rudolph. And Everett Golson, he's 9 for 11 with the touchdown pass. He'll sprint right, being chased. Now cuts it back left with a lot of field in front of him. Golson, that field sort of disappeared with Justin Simmons in pursuit, but he got 4 yards when there wasn't a whole lot there.
Again, that's usually a ball because nothing was there on the sprint that he would have to throw up in the stands and get it out of bounds, but he makes 4 yards. They're 2nd down and 6.
And one thing about Golson, last year, the last couple of years that he played for Notre Dame, we would see that athleticism. We also saw a lot of carelessness with the ball. There were interceptions. There were a lot of fumbles tonight. And so far this season, he is protecting the ball.
Still no turnovers.
Under center on 2nd and 6. They will hand it off. Dalvin Cook, good blocking right side. Cook gets to the edge, to midfield. There he goes. Dalvin Cook to the 20, and they say he stepped out of bounds. So he thought he had the touchdown, but out of bounds at the 39-yard line. It was kind of a delayed call there, but apparently the foot hit the sideline. Otherwise, that was 6 for Florida State.
Well, you can see how dangerous Florida State is. Every guy that touches the ball has a chance to score. It was a counter play to the right. It was supposed to be off tackle to the right, but Dalvin Cook's got such patience and vision. He bounces outside, has the speed to head down for the big play, and he ends up, Justin Simmons once again knocks him out of bounds.
Did you see? I did not see him step out of bounds. Now Florida State is at the line, and maybe I missed it. They're snapping the ball, so it won't matter. They will complete the pass on the left side to Kermit Whitfield. I don't know. And that is not a reviewable play, but I'm not sure that the foot was on the sideline there.
And it really doesn't matter because they've moved on and made a first down after that. So
well, it matters. I bet it matters to Jimbo Fisher. He'd like to have the touchdown.
Well, it does, but it doesn't matter because it's done. It's already over. So you just move on.
It could well be that I missed it.
I don't think that's possible.
2nd and 3. They'll hand it off to Cook, straight ahead running with some power, trying to get to that first down mark. And I think he got there. So let's see if we can see where the foot actually stepped out of bounds. Oh yeah. So that right foot, he went well before Simmons came to try to push him out of bounds, and they got the call right.
An official was right there. Officials do a great job. They get a lot of criticism, but these guys work hard to make sure they get it right.
So 1st and 10, Florida State on the move. A play fake. Golson rolling out, and he's going to dump it, almost intercepted. He was looking for the tight end, Ryan Izzo, who was not looking for the ball.
Yeah, Coach Jimbo Fisher's telling him right now, when you can run and hand it to the receiver, run it. Now it's 2nd down and 5 if you run the ball and get out of bounds. So do not throw it right there. Tuck the ball away, run it, run toward the boundary, get your 5 yards. Now you're sitting at 2nd down and 5 at the 25, 24-yard line instead of 2nd down and 10, and a possible tip ball and interception. So that's really the first mistake that Everett Golson made. We got to remember, Jimbo's had this young guy for a month.
From the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Completes that pass right side. Rudolph tackled immediately. No gain. Cameron Moore, who's playing a nice first half, with the tackle.
Screen from the upper side, 2nd down and 10. Good call by Florida State. Better defensive play. Sitting here at 3rd down and 10 now, and you're in 4-down range, but you've also got the best kicker in the country with a 7-point lead. So you need to make some yards here. They'll probably try to make the first down, but if not, they can go ahead and kick the ball.
10th play of the drive. And they're going to hand it off to Cook without a lot of room. Stopped at the 25-yard line and pushed backwards, so that will be 4th down and a kicking down for Roberto Aguayo, who you called him the best kicker in the country. I don't think there are many who would argue that point.
He's in the ballpark, let's put it that way. Some people would think that is a poor call by Jimbo Fisher, but he thought he would catch the twist up inside, so he ran a trap up inside to try to hit the crease and make the first down, but he also knows with this kicker he's got a chance.
51 of 55 career field goals for Aguayo.
And we see Coach Fisher there talking about blocking on the perimeter on that first screen.
42-yard attempt. The kick is up, and he hooked that one. It's no good. How about that? A very rare miss for Roberto Aguayo, who can't believe it. Well, it is halftime now. Boston College, as Coach just said, will receive the kickoff to start the second half. And after the way this game started, I think Steve Addazio and company are happy that it's just a one-score game. I'm not sure whether Jimbo Fisher is. Let's find out with Allison Williams on the field.
Coach, what has the Boston College defense done to disrupt your offensive line?
We're missing them up front. We're just not making block. We had a great first drive. We had a great drive the second time. And we knew it was going to be this kind of game. They're a really good defense. They were top 10 last year. They will be. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. The plays are there. And we missed a block or two on some screens, and we can come out there. We'll be okay.
How has Golson's athleticism helped you overcome some of those mistakes up front?
Well, not just his athleticism, his decision making. He's getting rid of the ball real quick. When we're giving him time, he's playing a really good game. We got to keep giving him some time, and we can make some plays.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff from Jimbo Fisher. It's halftime. 7-0 Seminoles now. Ed Van Vert, Danny Cannell, Joey Galloway with the college football halftime report. It's at Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill. We are ready for the start of the second half. The Boston College Eagles coming back out from the locker room, down 7-0 to the 9th-ranked team of the country, the Florida State Seminoles. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams with you. Everett Golson, coach for Notre Dame, the grad transfer. We heard from Jimbo Fisher, did a lot of good things in the first half.
He did. He managed the game. This is the only deep ball he hit, so he needs to hit some deep balls the second half. His teammates will love the fact that Kevilat got knocked out on the reverse, but here's probably the play of the game. Would have been a safety, made this game closer. He gets away from Landry, and he gets away from Wojak, two of the best defensive players at Boston College.
Yeah, you play back how that first half went, and you think about if there had been a safety there, I think it would have changed the feel of the game entirely.
Well, Boston College needs to hit some throws, but Florida State probably scored too easily and got a little relaxed after their first drive, and Boston College had to get used to that Florida State speed.
Booming kickoff, and it'll be a touchback. Well, we heard from Jimbo Fisher before halftime. Allison Williams talked to Steve Addazio as they came out of the locker room. Let's hear from Allison what Coach Addazio had to say.
He said that this was the kind of game that they expected. Now, offensively, things are a little herky-jerky. He said they're still trying to find their rhythm, but he said, you know what? This is a big-time team. They're physical. We just have to keep hanging with them, pound the ball. Remember that message of finish he told us about yesterday? That's exactly what he told them at the half. Finish plays, pound the rock, and your opportunity will come.
This game is playing right into Steve Addazio's hands. He wants it close, he wants it to go fast, and he wants it to be tough.
First down, Boston College. Just nowhere to run for John Hilleman.
Well, Boston College is definitely sitting here, and they're playing offense with their defense. They're got 6:51 left in the third quarter. They're trying to be smart. They're trying to be physical. They don't want to turn the ball over. The two punters are having an unbelievable night to change field position. So now you're sitting here at 2nd and 11. You're backed up. What are your play calls?
Well, it is a good point. The punter for Florida State, Kason Beatty, has just been relentless. BC's been making stops, but the field position has not really improved. Wade stumbling ahead. There's some field open there for Darius Wade, the sophomore quarterback, but he just couldn't get by. So he gets to the 15 to set up third down. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams with you here from Chestnut Hill at Alumni Stadium. It is a beautiful Friday night. The 9th-ranked Seminoles of Florida State on the road against Boston College.
And that was a pass call with a scramble, so we'll see here again on 3rd down and 7. How wide open will Boston College be with Darius Wade?
Seminoles scored on the first drive of the game. Nobody has scored since. Wade time, throws deep and incomplete into triple coverage intended for Alston. So it's 4th and 7, another 3 and out for BC.
Didn't take much time off the clock. It's down to 5:46, but they are gaining more confidence in Darius Wade because that was a drop back pass with very good protection, but also there was good coverage by the Florida State secondary. Once again, the most valuable players tonight have been the punters. So let's see if Boston College's Alex Howell can knock it to the other end and keep field position.
Howell booms another one, sending Bobo Wilson all the way back, and he drops the ball. And it bounces right to a Seminole special teamer. What a break for Florida State. That was almost the mistake that I think BC has been waiting for. A very fortunate bounce. Javian Elliott was right there to scoop up the ball.
Well, outstanding punt again by Alex Howell. I do not feel like Boston College thinks they can win this game with their offense, so they needed a turnover. Ball bounces right back up to Florida State. Bobo drops the ball. He's sitting in a position where he's trying to look down the field and see if he can make the play. But outstanding play by Corinne Moore for Boston College. Very lucky that the ball bounced up in Florida State's hands.
Ends up 63 yards of net after the long punt, and then they went backwards after the fumble. Pitch play, Dalvin Cook. He's got some field in front of him. Gets to that corner, though. He did not cut it upfield. Tried to get to the edge and got knocked out of bounds. So that was a gain, but not a huge one. And Cook's a little slow getting up.
No, and it's a great play call. You've got the power look up inside. You've got a counter option out the backside. It looked like there was space, but Boston College is very well taught. They tackle well in space, and those guys are hustling.
Well, last week, 2nd best rushing performance in Florida State history. Tonight, Cook's got 57 yards.
Yeah, they're making it hard.
2nd and 5 for the Seminoles. Golson in the pocket looking to throw. He'll throw short right. Cook with the catch. Tripped up, but he gets the first down.
It's a big first down for Florida State. You can see now they're feeling it. The clock's running, 4:55 left. You put it in your best player's hands twice in a row for the first down.
And I do wonder whether Jimbo Fisher, he's watched Everett Golson misfire on a couple passes here in the second half, whether Coach Fisher just, well, we need to get the ball back to Cook.
Well, we got to remember, Everett's been there for a month. He really doesn't know the system very well yet, and there's a tremendous amount of pressure on him tonight.
So Cook alone in the backfield. Golson under center. They will play fake. Here comes a pass rush. Golson gets away for a moment. On the move, he will throw it away. Golson wanted the flag, but I think that defensive player for Boston College did a good job backing off and not committing the illegal hit penalty.
I think the more we look at this game, this is two really, really good defenses, and Matt Milano has been around a long time. And he's a guy that knew to pull up. He really held him up. They're not going to call that as long as you hold him up. If it was a flagrant hit out of bounds and he tried to hurt Golson, then they throw the flag.
Yeah, that was a very smart play by Matt Milano. So it's 2nd and 10. Play clock starting to wind down. Hand off Cook. Get to that left side. Cook. Hit at the 38. They might spot it close to the 39. John Johnson from his safety spot made the tackle. And again, Dalvin Cook a little slow to get up and slow to walk to the sideline.
He's been hit really hard tonight. And you can see what Jimbo's trying to do. He's running the ball, hoping he can get a crease against a defense at Boston College that may be tiring a little bit here as we get near the 4th quarter.
Florida State just over 200 yards of total offense. Boston College still at 132. It has been a defensive game. On 3rd and 5, Golson pressured again. Golson throws on the move. He's got his man caught, first down. Nice throw on the run to Kermit Whitfield, who's having a career kind of game as a pass catcher. We know him as a return man. He's done a good job at wide receiver.
Yeah, twist up front. Florida State's offensive front didn't pick it up very well. Once again, the ability of Golson to use his feet, his athletic ability to get out of the pocket and make the play was key for that first down. 2 first downs in a row, so they've got the first really good drive they've got going since they missed the field goal.
They're checking on Dalvin Cook. Looked like sternum, rib cage, something like that. Play fake. Golson looking deep middle. He throws. It is incomplete. Good effort intended for Bobo Wilson. The coverage by Cameron Moore, the sophomore. He was right there.
Cameron Moore's made some really good plays today. Again, it's man coverage. You see the ball is thrown to the proper place, just a little bit too far, but outstanding play by Cameron to reach out and hit the ball right as Bobo's about to catch it.
Oh, we see so many defensive backs who struggle with that timing of when to get the arm in there, how to time the breakup. He timed it perfectly.
Really good play for a sophomore.
Second and 10. Cook still on the sideline. Golson hit as he throws, and that forced the incompletion. Trying to get to Mario Pender. It was Connor Wojak from up the middle. He just blew up the Florida State line.
Another senior on that Boston College defense. You look at the pressure inside. There wasn't really a lot of blitz here. This is just Connor Wojak overpowering the young offensive lineman. This was not Everett Golson's fault. There's a wide open receiver in the flat, but he had pressure in his face, and now all of a sudden we're back to 3rd and 10.
And Cook is still on the sideline. Golson in the shotgun. Golson has time, not anymore. He gets sacked. Tried to step up, and there was number 8, Harold Landry, and Mehdi Abdesmad as well.
Both of those are really good football players. The coaches bragged on them yesterday in our coaches meetings. And this defense for Boston College is playing with so much confidence right now. Once again up front, it's a twist. Landry comes all the way across to the defensive left side. Golson has trouble seeing. That's really a coverage sack because it's outstanding coverage by the defensive backs at Boston College. He had to hold the ball.
He had time. So this guy is hard to believe, but he's really been the star for Florida State. Kason Beatty, another good punt. They're going to let this one bounce, and it will just die. Inside the 5, what a night for the senior, Kason Beatty. All the way down to the 1.
Both of these punters have been unbelievable. And that was a smart play by Alston. The ball was past the 10-yard line. Fans will be mad at him for not being able to get it, but it was a smart play.
58 yards and down inside the 2-yard line. Pinned against their goal line, Darius Wade, the sophomore quarterback, would just push it out and try to get some breathing room. He fell forward across the 3, but they say he was down at the 2.
Now Florida State has to feel like this is a great advantage for them. They've got them backed up at the 2-yard line. We always felt like if the defense can hold here, it's going to be points. You get 3, you get 6 or 7 because of field position. So this is really an important 2nd and 3rd down. 2nd and 9.
Golson hoping that he can get back on the field quickly. Handoff in the backfield and churning ahead. That looks like Tyler Rouse, who got maybe a yard to set up 3rd down. They're still inside the 5-yard line.
Florida State's got to get the stop here on 3rd down. A lot of pressure on the play caller for Boston College. He needs to make this 1st down, but he can't afford to turn it over. So here you have to trust your young quarterback in a very difficult situation.
But at a minimum, you'd like to get a little breathing room for your punter, so he doesn't have to be pinned up against the back of the end zone. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. On 3rd down, Wade has not been effective. He will play fake from the end zone. Wade is going to scramble now. Wade to the 10, fighting ahead, and I think he got it. What a play by Darius Wade. First down, Boston College.
That's a huge play by Boston College because you get points if you hold them. Even if he has the really good punt, it's going to be out to the 50-yard line. Play action pass. He fakes the power to the right. Again, it's an off-schedule play by an athletic quarterback. He is a good runner. He goes north and south, knows what he's got to get for the first down. Great play by the young sophomore quarterback.
15 seconds now, 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. They will snap the ball and give it to Alston, trying to get to that corner. That just has not been there. He did get by the first two tacklers, but basically no gain to end the third quarter. Can Boston College score? One of the questions for the fourth quarter. They are in this game down 7-0 to Florida State. Well, quite a scene. The fabulous tenor Ronan Tynan here. Pass. Maybe that inspired the Eagles. A pass downfield completed. Charlie Callanan with the reception from Darius Wade and this Boston College offense. Hard to believe, Coach. Here we are into the fourth quarter. They have not scored. They have fewer than 160 yards, and they are very much in this game.
But they're not making mistakes, and they're changing field position with an outstanding punter. And we just saw Darius Wade run for a first down, and now he's completed a pass. So the quarterback that makes the best plays in this fourth quarter will win this game.
I mean, at some point, Boston College has to try. They're going to try a receiver pass. But there was nobody there, and a smart play by Bobby Swigert to take it upfield, and he ended up getting 7, maybe 8 yards there. The kid who has an incredible story, injured his knee 2 years ago, 11 surgeries later, he's back on the field.
Here's the speed sweep. Florida State shut it down pretty much all night. The defensive backs played it very well, but senior, after 11 knee operations, Bobby Swigert pulls it down, very smart, and he ends up with a 2nd down and 2. You can call trick plays, and if they're not there, you got a guy as smart as Swigert can make it work.
They will stutter step Alston, and they will give it to him on that fly sweep action. Sherman Alston for the first down across the 40, and we are seeing Boston College's offense start to open up a little bit. Meanwhile, an important story on the other side. At the end of the third quarter, number 4 for Florida State. We thought he was going a few minutes earlier. He did go into the locker room. Dalvin Cook, the star running back for the Seminoles, so we'll see.
Well, and this could be discouraging for that offensive line. You see Jimbo walking up and down, patting him on the head, saying, okay, we're fine. Let's hang in there, got to go score. But Florida State has let Boston College hang in until the fourth quarter.
Remember, this drive started at the 1. Now they pitch it back to Alston, but read nicely by Florida State's defense. Terrence Smith has been everywhere.
Terrence Smith made a fantastic play a few minutes ago on a 3rd down and short. He comes back, and he came up so fast. Another 5-year guy. So you're seeing Swigert, you're seeing Smith, you're seeing these guys that have been around, that love their team, that have got their last chance to win. This is a really important ball game for both teams, and these guys are going to play their hearts out for the last 12 minutes and 40 seconds.
Well, Alston just ducked for cover, and you can't blame him.
And that's tackling a really fast guy in space.
Lost a yard, 2nd and 11. Wade will hand it off, and there just wasn't anything there. That was beautifully played by DeMarcus Christmas. Now the ball's out. Florida State has it. Jalen Ramsey to the end zone. And then they will call that a touchdown.
Again, you're sprinting left. You pull the ball back for the delayed draw. And once again, the ball's knocked out by Terrence Smith. DeMarcus Christmas gets the penetration. He stops the Hilleman, the running back, and the ball's knocked out by Smith and picked up and run back for the score. Big play for Florida State.
Huge play when their offense has just stalled. The defense puts points on the board.
And, of course, Jalen Ramsey is the one that is playing heads up and picks the ball up and runs it back for the score.
Aguayo, extra point. He's never missed one. It's up and good. That is a game changer. 14-0 Seminoles after the huge play on defense.
Yes, you're sitting here looking at penetration by DeMarcus Christmas. The ball is pulled out, picked up by Jalen, and he runs it back for the score. 14-0 ball game.
And what a huge play in the fourth quarter, just when Boston College was starting to move the ball. Fumble forced by Terrence Smith. Number 24 has had a monster game for the Seminoles. Scooped up by Jalen Ramsey. Back to the end zone for a touchdown by the FSU defense. It's now 14-0 against an Eagles team that has not looked equipped to come from behind on offense.
And DeMarcus Christmas, a backup defensive lineman, because they're so deep and they're so fresh in the fourth quarter. And all of a sudden he penetrates, knocks the ball loose. We talked about Terrence Smith being a 5-year senior and Jalen Ramsey, one of the best athletes in the country. So those are the guys that have controlled this football game for Florida State, along with their punter.
Miles Willis back to receive a low line drive kickoff, and Willis will take it inside the 5 and bring it back. Willis stumbles ahead to the 25-yard line. That's where Boston College's offense comes back on the field.
A Steve Adazio football team is not going to quit. They're just going to have to pick it up and open it up a little bit more than they like to.
Yeah, they do have to change the way they're running the offense. They fake that fly sweep. Florida State right in on the quarterback, Wade, who throws it away. Kyle Lawrence Stample got the pressure from up the middle.
Again, this is not the skill set that Boston College loves to see.
Well, there's number 4, Dalvin Cook, coming back on the field. And he'll jog across the back of the end zone to go back to the Florida State side. So that's good news for the Seminoles with his pads still on.
Yeah, he looked up at the scoreboard, saw it was 14-0. That picked him up. He said, here we go. I like this.
What happened?
Yeah, I like this.
2nd and 10 for Wade. And he gets dropped. That same guy. Now the ball is loose. Florida State saying they have it. And they do. And Wade is hurting. Lawrence Stample with the pressure. Derek Noddy was there to pick the ball up, and Wade is still down.
Covering Florida State's ball, 1st and 10.
We said the young offensive line is not equipped to drop back pass against the type athletes that Florida State has. And all of a sudden you've got an early enrollee in Lindstrom, number 75, at right guard, and he just misses because he's not ready for that type pass rush in this ball game. And as soon as the game got to 14-0 with 12 minutes left, it takes them out of their mindset. Once again, Stample, a huge player, balls out, quarterback's on the ground. You got to hope he's okay.
Yeah. Knee was down before the ball came out. That would obviously be a big question here. So Wade will be helped off the field. The backup quarterback is a true freshman, Jeff Smith. We'll see if we can see when the knee goes down, whether he's still got the ball. The knee's about to touch. I think he's going to be down. They are looking at it upstairs. And that's huge for Boston College. I mean, they lose their quarterback. That's terrible news. But trying desperately to find a way to hang in this game, down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I think they should get the ball back.
Well, and you're going to bring in freshman Jeff Smith, who's from Florida. He hasn't played a lot. His skill set is more the option than drop back pass. So it puts him in a very difficult spot with the offensive line. You may see Boston College go back and try to run the football and get some options and try to get a deep ball off a play action pass, because it's going to be very hard for them to drop back against this really tough front of Florida State.
It is determined that the runner was down prior to the ball coming loose. The ball will be Boston College ball, 3rd down, about the 17-yard line.
So 3rd and long from the 17. It's not going to be a pleasant scenario for the true freshman Jeff Smith from the Tampa area, from St. Petersburg. Central Catholic High School. They love his athletic ability as a runner. He is very much a work in progress as a passer, but he could be the quarterback of the future here. Oh, they got to hurry. It's under 10. They haven't broken the huddle yet. Got to go. Smith trying to get under center, and he calls a timeout. And he can understand what's going on here.
College. This is the first charge timeout.
First timeout for the Eagles. Does the backup have any magic in him? We'll see when we come back after this. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams back here at Chestnut Hill. And on 3rd and 2, a handoff, right side running. Miles Willis will get the first down and get tackled across the 40. So there's a first down with a backup Jeff Smith. We've seen backup magic this year in college football, most notably Tanner Mangum of BYU. But again, the issue, coach, with Jeff Smith, who is a very talented runner, great athlete from the state of Florida. He's brand new. He's a true freshman, and they just have some specific plays that he works on, not nearly the full offensive playbook.
No, and especially not 1 minute offense. They can't go no huddle. He doesn't have the full gamut of the passing game.
Play fake. Can he get away? Well, for now he can. He's going to throw the ball away. Well, he shows some escapability because that play was blown up at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down.
He does, but you can see play action pass on 1st down is one of his plays. And right now, Florida State's not going to bite on play action pass. But if they could somehow get a score, onside kick, knock a ball loose, you never know what's going to happen if they could get one on the board.
Well, now Smith comes out of the game, and Troy Flutie, who is the nephew of the all-time BC great, redshirt freshman Troy Flutie, comes in, and maybe just the need to have a few more options in the pass game. From the shotgun, Flutie throws. That must sound pretty good to BC fans. Alston with the catch right near midfield to set up 3rd and short.
Well, we do know if it comes down to a Hail Mary that the Flutie family understands that play.
Yeah. Well, BC would love for it to come down
yes.
to a Hail Mary. There's number 22.
And I'm sure Troy coming in is simply because he's got more experience. He knows the entire passing game. He can run the 1 minute offense.
Clock rolling, 3rd and 1. Flutie will try to sneak it, and he gets it. Nice tough run by the young quarterback. First down into Florida State territory, so BC on the move.
So Charles Kelly's called an outstanding game with Florida State's defense tonight. We've talked a lot about Boston College's defense. We haven't given Florida State the credit they deserve because they've kept Boston College out of the end zone so far, and they're responsible for 7 of the 14 points.
Again from the shotgun, Troy Flutie. Back to pass, 4-man rush. He'll step up. Flutie's going to scramble. Flutie gets some positive yardage inside the 45 down to the 42. So the little kid from Natick, Mass.
And he's a redshirt freshman, but we knew everybody said his uncle was too short, and he looked pretty good. So Troy's come in and give him a little bit of spark.
Not a big guy, but so far so good. A handoff, kind of a draw type play. It'll be 3rd down, stopped a couple yards short.
And Florida State does not want to let them get on that board because all of a sudden you're one play away from a tie ball game with an onside kick, and the way that defense is knocking the ball loose and tipping balls, this could get really interesting if they let them score.
Little confusion in the backfield, out low, and Hillman switch sides. Flutie throws middle, incomplete. Almost intercepted, intended over the middle there. It'll be 4th and 2. And Steve Adazio, you figure he's got to go for it. 5:03 to go, down 14-0.
He is going to go for it. That was a defensive blitz, a corner blitz from the offensive left side that made Flutie throw the ball before he was ready.
Fourth and 2. He's going to run an option style play, and that does not work. DeMarcus Walker was there. Boston College will turn it over on downs. So Florida State will look to put the game away. 4:56 to go, up 14-0. Well, Florida State's defense with another tremendous series, and now a burst up the middle for Mario Pender with a nice gain into BC territory. 4:49 to go. Seminoles up 14-0. And our game track brought to you by Straight Talk. Everett Golson has not been spectacular, but I guess in the end we'll say he's been good enough.
And the biggest thing, Florida State has gone through the first 3 ball games to this point without a turnover.
Yep.
So now they'll try to run the ball. They're getting up slow. They're staying in the huddle. They're going to let as much of that 40 seconds run off the clock every time. Another first down or 2, and this one will be in the books.
That last play finally gets Florida State over 200 yards of total offense in the game. Well, they have been stymied. Nowhere to go for Pender. But from the Seminoles' perspective, just the fact that that clock keeps moving and they keep the ball is good enough.
Florida State's running back coach is saying put both hands on the ball and do not let them strip it. The defensive coaches at Boston College are saying just knock it loose, strip it loose, pull it. We've got to get the ball on the ground. Killing the clock. They're letting it run down as far as they can get it. They'll usually go up with about 8 seconds left and try to snap it with 2 or 3 seconds left on the play clock. Very deliberate. No penalties. Take care of the ball.
Well, they got it all the way down to 1, so that's perfect. Pender with the carry right side, and they don't care. No gain, but they'll watch that clock reset to 40 and let 40 more seconds tick away. But Boston College is not going to let them do it. They'll use one of their final 2 timeouts to stop the clock. It's been a frustrating night for John Hilleman and the BC offense. Seminoles lead 3rd down and 10 coming up. And if they pass the ball, I would be shocked. Okay, I guess I'll be shocked. They're taking a shot deep. It is incomplete. And now a flag thrown. Intended for Travis Rudolph.
Pass interference. Number 9 defense. 15 yards. Automatic first down.
John Johnson, the safety, called for pass interference. And they ruled it on number 9. Isaac Yidam was the guy who was there. Maybe there was some contact earlier. Handoff. That's Mario Pender. And Boston College is not going to use that last time out. 2nd down coming up. Well, you mentioned, Coach, there's Dalvin Cook. They got to check on him, but they get the off week. So that helps. And it helps not only to get healthy, but also to get to work on this offense. And this was a challenge on the road against a very good Boston College defense. But Jimbo Fisher, he's got some work to do.
He does, but I think you'll hear Jimbo say after the football game what a great defensive effort by Boston College, because they really have respect for this team, and it's been a tough game for the last 3 years.
Tight end in motion. Handoff. Pender again. He'll be stopped. You can see the Eagles trying to rip the ball out. Now a flag is thrown, so that will stop the clock at 2:20.
And it's pretty much a point of pride right now.
Personal foul. 28 defense. 15 yards. First down.
It's pretty much a point of pride right now, Dave, but you do not want to let Florida State score again if you're that Boston College defense. They've had 2 great game plan and effort, and they've got a lot of pride on this defense. They're going to do everything in their power to keep them out of the end zone here with 2:20 left to go in the game. Got to be careful and not be frustrated. Sometimes you get a penalty because you're trying to strip the ball loose, and you may catch a face mask or it look like you're being too aggressive.
Dave Fleming, Mac Brown with you here from Boston. I guess the point that I'm making with the Seminoles offense is, I mean, Florida State, they don't have Jameis Winston, Coach, but they do believe that they are still a championship contending team. And Everett Golson's only been on campus for a couple months, so it's not like they've had a lot of time to work with him. But they need to iron some things out if they really do feel like okay, we're a playoff caliber team. We can run the table in what should be a real competitive ACC.
They do, but this was a huge win for them. A shutout on the road. Defense looks much better than at this time last year. And I think you're going to see Jimbo talk about the offense, but he also knows Golson is just growing and growing. That's why he's still in the ball game here.
Well, I do agree with you in that if you look at Florida State's schedule, there's not a lot of roadblocks that pop out, at least on paper. That's not to say that they won't get challenged They do have tough games on the road at Georgia Tech, at Clemson. They finished the regular season at Florida. But this was a big hurdle because Boston College on the road, we figured this was a chance for them to lose a game, and they've come on the road to get a win.
Yeah, and I don't know if you play a better defense than this all year. There may be some as good, but they're really, really good. We'll see Miami and Nebraska tomorrow, so that'll be interesting to see those two because Miami and Florida State's a very emotional game.
Second down and 8, under 2 minutes to go. Pender gets hit, and he'll be tackled. Clock continues to roll. Assuming this game does finish with the 0 on the board for Boston College. First road shutout since November of 2003. Florida State shut out Notre Dame on the road. They haven't done it away from home since then. I know Boston College's offense, particularly at the end of the game, was compromised with their quarterback hurt, but big time nonetheless.
Well, and a question mark about quarterback anyway coming into the game with Darius Wade. But you're seeing respect right now by Jimbo for that Boston College defense because he is killing the clock and running up the middle, and he's really not trying to score at this point.
Pender will be tackled again by number 8 Harold Landry. How about him? You spotlighted him early, Coach.
He
Harold
is a special
Landry,
player.
a sophomore. That's his 16th tackle of the game. He's had a sack and a half, 3.5 tackles for loss. Big time performance by him.
He's big, he's got length, he's fast, he's tough. He's played nearly the entire ball game, and he has lived in the backfield of Florida State.
Well, let's see if this is the final play of the game. Golson under center. 8 seconds to go, and he's going to roll back and keep going backwards, just trying to wind the clock down. And he'll either just fall down or throw it away. He will throw it away, and that is the final play of the night. The Seminoles defense on the road shuts out Boston College, and Everett Golson and company improved to 3-0.
Yes, big win for Florida State, 14-0. The guys feel really good about themselves. They still have a lot to work on.
All right, 14-0 Seminoles with a happy head coach. Jimbo Fisher standing by with Allison Williams.
Thank you guys very much, Coach Fisher. How would you describe the way your defense stepped up, helped you win this ball game?
Incredible. I mean, our defense has gotten better each. I felt very good about it all year. To dominate the game in the line of scrimmage like they did, all the misdirection, all the things they did, and then be able to score on defense. I mean, they carried the load. There's no doubt about that, but that's what good teams do. One side just picks up the other side, but tremendous job. And also our special teams. Our punter kicked the heck out of the ball. Our kickoffs, we missed one field goal, unfortunately, but otherwise, very proud of those 2 seconds.
Good in those 2 phases. How do you grade out the offense, though, just the 7 points?
Well, I got to do a better job. We're not very good. But the other thing we didn't do, though, we didn't turn the football over, which was very critical in the game. But we've got to get better. We had too many missed throws, missed protection. Second half, we had tons of opportunities on 3rd down that we just didn't get it finished. And I've got to do a better job coaching. We got to do a little better job playing, and we'll get better. But everybody, you know, we're in progress. We got a lot of work. We got some progress right now to make, but hopefully we'll get there.
And is Cook okay?
Yes, he is. He's got banged up a couple times. We'll give Pender some carries.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Dave?
All right, thanks, Allison. So Jimbo Fisher could celebrate a win. It wasn't pretty, but the Seminoles get it done on the road against a good Boston College defense. Now time to go back to SportsCenter with Kevin and Jay.